You're overspending, June. You need to be more responsible, my husband Barrett said as he stood in our kitchen, holding up a stack of bills. So I smiled and said, "You're right, I'll make sure to cut back." He had no idea I'd been recording our conversation for months, ever since I suspected he was controlling my finances. I landed a job offer a week prior, and I knew he was trying to keep me in line. The day before, I tried to use my card at the grocery store, but it was declined. Barrett told me I must have overspent, but I knew that wasn't true. I've been tracking my expenses, and I had more than enough money in my account. Or so I thought. What I didn't know was that Barrett had secretly canceled my cards, trying to prove a point. But what he didn't know was that I had a private account, one that he had no access to. I've been quietly building up my own savings, just in case. As we stood in the kitchen, I thought back to all the times Barrett had belittled me, made me feel like I was the one who was crazy. "You're being paranoid, June," he'd say, "or you're overreacting." But I knew the truth. I'd been gathering evidence, recording our conversations, and documenting every transaction. And now I had the upper hand. I walked over to my phone and played back the recording of Barrett bragging to his friends about controlling my finances. His face turned white as he realized what was happening. "You're a real comedian, Barrett," I said, my voice cold and calm. "But it's not funny when the joke's on you." I turned and walked away, leaving him standing alone in the kitchen. The last thing I heard was his voice, shaking with rage. "You'll never be able to make it without me." But I just smiled to myself, knowing that I was finally free. 80% of our assets were in my name, and I had the proof to take him down. I walked out of the house, into a new life, one where I was in control. Barrett, on the other hand, ended up losing everything. Our home, his friends, and his reputation. He was left with nothing but the memory of his own cruel words. "You're overspending, June. You need to be more responsible."